Hi, today is actually National Signing Day. I'm really excited. I'm excited for these athletes and more specifically for one that's very important to me. My very own baby girl, Elyse. They call her AJ. So in the last segment, I promised you that I would share a quick segment on planning forward. Remember, we talked about maybe if you're not quite where you want to be, and this year, 2019 or 2019 as some refer to it as, I'm going to share with you very quickly just how I plan forward. And here's what I do. First and foremost, you just want to get out a sheet of paper and just kind of do some soul searching and brainstorming. You can jot this down. If you don't have a piece of paper and you're in a room or in an office setting, you can use a whiteboard, you can use your laptop. Any type of word processing application would work very well for this. Number one, the very first thing that I want you to do is consider what are the primary roles that you operate or serve within where others rely on you. So, for example, a role might be some of you all are mothers, like myself, some are fathers. You might be an aunt or an uncle. Heck, you might even be a pet owner. But what you want to do is kind of think through what your primary roles are and what they include. Additional roles might include, of course, being a worker. And remember, keep in mind the roles where people are relying on you to provide them with something. So as a mom, your children rely on you to provide for them. As a dad, same thing. As a spouse, a husband or a wife, your significant other is relying on you for emotional compatibility or whatever it may be. It could be intimacy, but identify what those primary roles are in your life. As a business owner, you have either employees or customers who are relying on you, so that might be a primary role. And I just want you to take a moment and list out what all of those roles include, okay? Now that you've identified what your primary roles are, I want you to think about this and prioritize them in order of relevance. Which role is most important? Which role requires you to provide something most importantly? So I'll use for an example for me, because I'm talking about living your best life because I'm living mine. The most important role in my life, where nothing ever supersedes, is my relationship with my Heavenly Father. My spiritual relationship is primary, first and foremost for me. Yours may be different, but that's what works for me. So when I go to planning forward, I always ensure that I list out my relationship with God first and foremost. Next, me taking care of me, being good to me, would come next. And I'll tell you what that means, but the role of ensuring that I take care of Elyse comes next. Third would be being a wife, or yours might be different. Fourth would then be a mother, and then other family members that rely on me for support, then I would prioritize those accordingly. Then next to my role as a mom would come my work, being a business owner, being an encourager, being someone that gives back in the community, being a leader. That role would come next. Then the role of doing things for others in the community, in my church home, etc. So hopefully by now you've got your roles, you've got them prioritized. So after you identify your roles and you prioritize them, then for each of those areas, you want to take a moment and define what those roles mean for you. And I will give you specific examples when we actually, or if you attend one of our seminars, or if you participate in one of our conference calls online. So, for example, my role with my relationship with God is clearly me surrendering